Hello, in this video I will tell you why, in course of 2 years of consistent weightlifting and doing calisthenics, I switched from doing this 7 days a week to doing this 3 times a week. You see, back in the days, I watched all of these motivational videos from gym bros. I listened to this music. I listened to the guys preaching that he should go to the gym 7 days a week and hit it hard every time. Because I was stupid at the time, I did not know a lot about weightlifting, a lot about muscle building. And I thought that, yeah, this is the way I need to work hard 7 days a week to achieve my dream physique. And I did like this. I worked out 7 days a week. No, at first I worked out like 3 days a week to 3 to 4 days a week, but I worked out for like 3 to 4 hours, guys. This was completely insane. Then I started doing calisthenics and I started doing it 7 days a week. For a long time I kept doing this, but then I realized that I'm having a consistent insomnia, and I'm not really building any muscle. What is the problem? What is the problem? And I decided to take 1 day off. So I started working out 6 days a week instead of 7. And my sleep quality went way higher than it was before. Then after a month it went back to shit. Because I did some progress in exercises, I started doing more harder variations of exercises. And yeah, so at one point I decided that I need 2 rest days throughout the week. So once again my sleep went very well for a very long time. And this regime was very enjoyable for me to do calisthenics 5 days a week and stuff, but still I didn't see a lot of muscle growth at the time. And then I switched to the program of I switched from calisthenics to weightlifting, and I started doing weightlifting and some weighted calisthenics 3 days a week. So instead of 7, instead of 6, 5, I started doing it 3 days a week. And combined with proper knowledge on how to actually work out, how to bulk, what nutrition you should have, guys, I saw really fucking good progress. In course of a month, I did a lean bulk. In course of a month, I've seen fucking huge progress, guys. So yeah, and before that nothing like this happened ever, because I was doing everything wrong. It's kind of, yeah. So the main point of this video is that you do not need to work out 7 days a week. You only need like 3 or 4. Because muscles, yeah, this is like a very elaborate topic. There are many factors combined, but in general, what I want to say that muscles, they need some time to recover. If you are a natural lifter, if you do not use any, stuff to build your muscle, you need more time to recover. You cannot work out like this, dudes. Like this, for example, because this was not natural in this case. You need time to rest. You need like 48 to 72 hours, I heard, something like this, for muscles to fully recover, Yep. So, do not be stupid and work out 7 days a week. Yeah, because Yeah, once again, if you're doing some kind of split, you may work on 7 days a week, but I talk about full body workouts. I'm kind of starting to, you know. Oh, okay. I was intending to film the video about how I went from 7 days to 6 to 5 to 3 and why I did it. So I explained you this, right? Yes, and on the off days I still do some stuff. I do sprints, I do stretching every day, sprints 2 times a week, also some boxing 1 time a week. Yep, that is it probably. What can I also tell you? We might also talk about building muscle in general, how it is done properly. For example, like there is the guy on YouTube who, you know, when I started weightlifting, I didn't really see super good progress because I was fat at the start. Not like fat, but skinny fat. And then I seen these guys on YouTube who were skinny when they started. And they made like a really cool progress throughout the year after starting weightlifting. And this is the key, by the way, because you cannot really build any good amount of muscle even as a beginner if you are already fat. If you are over 15% body fat, it is very hard to build muscle. So while the skinny guys, they are building a lot of muscle because their hormones are working properly. Their body does not pump a lot of estrogen. They are able to actually put on a lot of muscle. So the key point is, yeah, by the way, back in the days I was struggling because nobody could really tell me what to do as a skinny fat. I thought that I need to bulk all the time. I thought I need to bulk to get muscle first, and then I cut, and then I'll be shredded. But this is a complete bullshit. People are lying to you when they say this shit. They have no fucking education at all whatsoever. The first thing you need to do is to get skinny. This is it. Not like skinny, but the key is to be on below 15% body fat, at least. Ideally like 8 to 10. And then you start bulking. And then while you do that, combined with proper weightlifting or calisthenics program, because calisthenics is not like really good at all, but for beginners it is very suitable. Yeah. So when you're doing this, you're being at a low percent body fat, and you combine it with a really good program which focuses on building strength, which is also the key. You will see some really fucking good results. But I, back in the days, once again, remember myself, I was a skinny fat kid. I didn't see any abdominals. I've seen like 4-pack, because when you're at 15% body fat, you can see your 4-pack probably. Yeah, but I knew nothing about how to work out properly. So I did some really crazy stuff. You know, I did like, at one point, probably 25 reps of push-ups each and every set. Yeah. 25 reps of knuckle push-ups with 30 seconds rest in between the sets. And this was completely crazy, as I now understand. And it's like, my workouts, they felt like torment. Fucking torment. Because, yeah, and I was lifting, I didn't even know proper exercises. I was just doing some, whatever, some crazy stuff. You know, I could do one hand bicep curls up to 25 reps also, because I didn't have any weight to add on my dumbbells. And I was just, okay, let's do more reps. But I did not know that after 15 reps, you're not building any muscle whatsoever. So I was not building any muscle. You know, I was kind of, yeah guys, probably as an intermediate or beginner you may relate to this. There was a point in time then when it's like month pass, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, I do not change. Although I bulk, although I do more reps in exercises, but my physique does not get better. And I was like, I was taking photos of myself each and every day, and I like compared them from a month or two before, and nothing fucking changes. Although I thought that because I'm doing more reps, it should change it. It's like I'm getting stronger. But guys, you're not getting stronger. You're just building muscle endurance. It is like the same thing as if you would just do some jogging, probably, I don't know. It's like completely useless for building muscle. That is why you do not see any change, any positive change. So, if you are skinny fat, dude, cut down. Cut down. There are many guys on the internet who do not know shit about what to do when you're skinny fat. They just do not know the science, probably. I do not claim that I know the science either. But I have an experience because I was a skinny fat. Not that long ago, half a year ago, I was a skinny fat. And then I cut it. And then I started building really good muscle. As for myself, okay? I've seen really good progress in exercises. I was hitting my PRs each and every fucking workout. When I combined proper techniques with bulking, with proper nutrition, with a lot of rest, once again. Yeah. We may talk about calisthenics, because I was doing calisthenics a lot, and the thing is that, yeah, I was doing it while cutting down also, and I did more reps almost each and every workout. But this is kind of tricky, guys, because while you're doing bodyweight exercises, if you're cutting at the time, the thing is that you decrease your load on your muscles automatically while you're cutting. And while you may think you do progress, it may be the case, but it may also be the reason may be that you're just, you start being, forget, you start having less weight on yourself because you're leaning down. So yeah, and with weightlifting instead of calisthenics, it is much easier to track your real progress. Because on the recent cut, while I was doing primarily weightlifting, on some exercises I plateaued. Yeah, for example, on like military press. military barbell press, I plateaued at some point. I also plateaued at bench press, like not completely, but on some sets I do hit PRs and some I don't. And it was new to me, kind of, because once again I was doing calisthenics, and with calisthenics I did hit my PRs each and every time, but with this shit I'm like, I don't. So at one point you just plateau. This is probably normal, because you cannot really build muscle in a deficit if you are already an advanced lifter. So yeah, I heard that if you're a newbie, you can build muscle in deficit. But as an advanced lifter, you cannot, probably. Yeah, and at one point, I found out that it's really hard to push these PRs. I'm like, oh, I'm struggling with this a lot, and it's really tough. Yeah. So, if you're experiencing, fuck. Ooh, if you experience something like this, you just should know that it is normal. And you will start seeing progress, or like you may just switch an exercise. For example, you're doing a military barbell press, you may do a dumbbell press instead. Maybe try this. Maybe I will try this soon. But just know that probably when you're going to maintenance again, or when you start bulking again, you will start seeing progress. Yeah. So, this is already 17 minutes long video. I kind of like this format when I just talk. It's cool. Yeah. It's like a podcast, guys. It could be an ASMR video. I could do just simply... No, I don't like the idea of doing ASMR videos because I should talk like this. But this is not how I talk regularly. I'm very loud, in fact. Almost all the time. I do not like to be how do you say? Low-pitched? No. Wrong word. I thought about the words like calm. I thought about low-pitched. I thought about... Oh, quiet. Yes, quiet is the right word. Sometimes it's hard to remember the right word to say in particular situation, but it's okay. Yeah. Guys, sometimes when I talk with Russians in Russian is my first language. But sometimes when I talk with Russians, I have this thought in English, but I struggle to say it in Russian because it is, yeah. It's kind of tricky. I wonder how polyglots do not confuse themselves while speaking languages, because they know too much languages. And for me, it is hard to, for example, I know a bit of Polish, I know a bit of Ukrainian, and I speak Russian very well because it's my first language. And sometimes when I'm trying to speak Ukrainian, for example, or Polish, I'm like confusing some words because these are very similar languages in many cases. And for example, if you know Spanish, if you know French and Italian, how do you not confuse yourself while you're speaking these languages? Because they have also many similar words and stuff. This is tricky. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of went away from the initial topic. But this is okay. It's kind of a podcast, right? You know, recently I tried to watch the new Napoleon film, and it didn't went very well because it's kind of, yeah. And I also tried to watch the old movie called Cleopatra. It's for a 4 hour movie from like 60s, I believe, or 70s. And the problem with this movie is that, you know, it is Anglo-Swiss movie, and these Anglo-Swiss actors are trying to portray the Romans, ancient Romans, and ancient Greeks. Cleopatra, by the way, was a Greek, not Egyptian. And they struggle to do that because when I see the Caesar guy is playing Caesar, I do not really believe him because he's not behaving in a way which Caesar would probably. Probably. Yeah, because from the books I read, guys, I read the book of which like Caesar wrote by his own hand. Not like literally, but you know, the it's called the History of Gallic Wars or something. And it was actually written by Caesar, but I, of course, read it in translation. I do not know Latin very well. I may know some occasional words and stuff, but in general, I cannot comprehend Latin. So, from what I know, I do not really believe these actors. Although the movie is kind of, when I compare it to the series, to the Rome series, which were filmed in like 2000s, I believe, the decorations, the overall scale of what is going on is much larger. Probably the movie had a lot more finances. That movie, Cleopatra. Yeah. It is really hard with historical movies because I believe that in case of historical movies, for example, the Rome series, not the Rome, or the, I don't know. Okay, Rome series. The actors are Americans and they portray the ancient Roman people as Americans. So probably it is not very authentic. That's what I'm saying. It's an amazing series, but the atmosphere is probably wrong because they don't get it, these people. Because the Romans, they were different from us, from Americans, from any modern people. The They, for example, used the different body language, by the way. I recently found out that the Romans kind of used their thumbs, you know, in a regular life to show some respect, for example, or something else, like on the gladiator fights. Yeah, you probably know this, that there was a gesture like this so that the gladiator should be killed, or like this that he should be spared. But they also use these thumbs in a regular day-to-day life. And yeah, I found out that if a Roman disliked someone, he could point his thumbs at him. Sounds fucking crazy, but it does sound crazy because we're just different people. We have different body language in general. Like, the times are changing. Yeah, for example, recently I was trying to listen to audiobook of Lovecraft. Yeah, is he Howard? I forgot. Okay, in any case, I was trying to listen to Lovecraft in English, an audiobook, but I struggled to understand many words. Although, when I watch YouTube, for example, or when I watch movies, contemporary movies, or when I read contemporary books, I understand almost everything. And this is the case that dudes in like 100 years ago, they spoke differently. Oh my god. I see the guy on the roof. Fucking crazy. You know, there are some like construction workers sometimes. Like in the winter, they are cleaning the snow, but now it's not winter. Yeah, let me see. I'm interested, kind of. Yeah, he seems like a construction worker, so that is interesting. I was on a roof one time, by the way. In my teenage years, when I was 14 years old, I had a company of people which I hanged out with, and at one point we decided that we should go on the roof of a, I believe, like 16 floors building. Yeah, so we went there. It was winter, by the way, but it was cool. It's kind of, especially when you're a teenager, it's like it seems something cool, something which yeah, which is fascinating probably. And while I was climbing there, my trousers, they obtained a hole in them. And although there was a hole in these trousers, and this is kind of bad, but I thought it is good because this is the reminder of this story when I was on the roof. And it was kind of giving me this coolness, if you understand what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'll probably finish this video right now. See you later. Goodbye.